After nearly 35 years of marriage, I uncovered that my spouse had been involved with another woman for 2 years. The revelation crushed me, leading me to pursue a divorce. Yes, I've been wed to the same man for almost 35 years. While our marriage wasn't flawless, it was decent. Children, a pet, a cozy home, we had it all. Our intimate connection, however, had faded over time. I entered our marriage inexperienced, transforming myself to meet his desires in the bedroom. Our household grew from 3 to a point where, by this Saturday, it will mark 6 years since we last shared intimacy. For a long while, I suspected an emotional bond between him and a close male friend he fished with, who later battled cancer. My husband would cancel our plans to be with him, prioritizing their time together. I even noticed messages that, while not romantic, hinted at a deeper connection. Yet oddly, I wasn't threatened. I knew his friend was gravely ill, with no chance of a physical relationship, and I believed my husband would return to me once his friend's illness resolved. I apologize if my language seems blunt. That's not my intention. I thought after his friend's passing, my husband would reconnect with me. Last week, while I was away pet-sitting for my sister, I returned home to sort through the mail. Among it was an unmarked envelope, typewritten. Inside was a brief letter with a photo. I recognized the woman. It was one of his acquaintances. The discovery shattered me. Competing with another woman felt insurmountable. What did she offer that I lacked? I committed to improving myself, shedding over 130 pounds. Yet, he offered no acknowledgement. Last week I visited the doctor, dressed elegantly, only for him to berate me, claiming I looked disgraceful, accusing me of dressing provocatively in an off-shoulder blouse and jeans. Since learning of the affair, I've become consumed with uncovering proof. I scour her social media, their phone records. He contacts her roughly 68 times daily, with calls lasting 5 to 15 minutes. I've driven past her home. I draft and erase messages with her name, number, and address, torn between confronting them, blaming her, or him. I obsess over what she possesses that I don't, how to mend this, or if I even want to. Does he? What steps should I take? Where do I turn? How do I proceed? I've wept for 2 days, unable to face him or speak to him. Update 1. After days of sorrow and despair, my obsession with uncovering more details intensified. This all surfaced last Sunday. Before that, I was blissfully unaware. I began reviewing phone logs, 6 to 7 daily calls to her, lasting 20 to 40 minutes each. I mistyped earlier. I searched his office, his nightstand, unsure what I sought but desperate to find something. I tailed him, driving by her house when he left. I was spiraling. By Wednesday, I reached my breaking point. I couldn't tolerate his pretense of normalcy. I wanted to confront her first. I drove to the dog park, empty. Then to her house, banging on her security door, pressing her doorbell, demanding she face me, shouting that if she was bold enough to be with a married man, she should face his wife. This lasted about 10 minutes. She didn't respond. I texted my husband, insisting we talk, revealing I knew. My sister, on the phone, urged me to leave before police arrived. In the 3 minutes it took to drive home, she lives in our community. She had called him and sent him the doorbell footage. I tried confronting him, but he deflected, gaslighting me. He scolded me for my reckless actions, ordering me inside. He turned the blame on me, accusing me of laziness, only leaving the house for my sister's invitations. He didn't deny the affair, dismissing it as none of my business. When I asked if he'd end it, he refused, calling her a valued friend. Worst of all, he demanded I apologize to her for humiliating her in her neighborhood. She's reportedly considering a restraining order. By Thursday and Friday, I ended my self-pity. On Saturday, marking our 35th anniversary, I took steps I never imagined. I contacted divorce lawyers, filling out consultation forms despite their offices being closed. I crafted a resume and applied for jobs, wondering what work I'd qualify for after 20 years as a homemaker. I stayed at my sister's for the weekend, craving a break from his attitude, the uncelebrated anniversary, and the heavy atmosphere. Update 2. A month has passed since discovering his infidelity. The pain lingers. I wish I could say I've moved on, but emotions don't vanish instantly, at least not for me. Occasionally, I wonder if we could salvage things, but his cruel actions snap me back to reality, reinforcing my resolve. I've set personal goals and am pursuing them. First goal, employment. I was a homemaker for nearly our entire marriage. Not only did I secure one job, but I found two, working both simultaneously. I opened a hidden account, not in my name, to save every extra cent. He tightly controls our finances, so I've had to be resourceful. He knows about one job, not the other. I've returned to school pursuing a degree aligned with my work. It's going well, and I stay optimistic despite his negativity, predicting I'll quit or fail. I'm saving for a modest home, perhaps a small unit or apartment that allows my dogs. Once I secure a place, I'll file for divorce. I need a safe haven, as he'll likely turn hostile when served. For now, things are calm. I avoid mentioning her, though they still talk daily and likely meet. In our community, he seems to flaunt it. I hide my pain, which frustrates him. He threatened to take my phone. I bought a cheap prepaid one as a backup. Now he's shifted to kindness, fixing my car, covering labor, buying work and school supplies after I provided a list. These moments make me question if there's hope, but her presence ends that thought. Then he reverts to cruelty, issuing empty threats, undermining my confidence, and I resume counting the months until I can leave. Update 3. I'm on my phone after an overnight shift, exhausted. It's June, and much has happened, some positive, some not. I finally told our children. Those were agonizing conversations, laying bare every detail. I owned my shortcomings, admitting I could have done better. My grown kids acknowledged my efforts, saying my imperfections didn't justify his betrayal. My eldest wanted to confront his father and the woman. I dissuaded him. My second son, the reflective one, said little but was visibly processing. My third son remarked it was overdue, citing his father's poor treatment of me, urging me to leave. I was torn. My husband oscillated between wanting to repair our marriage and actions proving otherwise. The last 2 weeks were the worst. He's been using our son's car, which my son equipped with a tracker. I have access. He doesn't know. He'd claim one destination but head straight to her house. When questioned, he'd lie blatantly. I documented everything until I couldn't bear it. On Father's Day, after an overnight shift, I texted him about dinner plans, shopped, cooked, and tried napping. He'd done nothing for Mother's Day. He woke me, asking for $40 for a sports store. I agreed, reminding him dinner was soon. 2 hours later, he wasn't back. The tracker showed he was at her house. I drove by. His car was in her garage, hers outside. I returned home, more hurt for my son. I texted, demanding he come home, revealing I knew he wasn't at the store. No response. After 30 minutes, his car hadn't moved, so I called her, leaving a voicemail. I knew he was there, conceding she'd won, declaring I was done with his lies and our 35-year fight. I told her to take his dog and belongings. 10 minutes later, he returned with a flimsy excuse: Walmart and a friend's tacos. I served dinner for my son and me, discarding the rest. He complained she felt threatened by my call, needing to change her number, risking clients. I hadn't threatened her. I told him to leave if unhappy. He was silent but remained callous, focused only on her. I had melanoma removed. He drove me but said nothing about my health, only that he was hungry. It was the 30th anniversary of my sister's death from melanoma, amplifying my sensitivity. Small neglects piled up. He forgot my requests, prioritized her. On our son's birthday, he left for her house before the candles were blown out. Last Sunday, he claimed he was taking soup to a stranded couple in a broken RV. I added items. He left but forgot the bag. The tracker showed he went to her house. That was my breaking point. I texted, "Why lie? No RV, store, or park exists where he went. Why not admit he's choosing her over our family? I called. He didn't answer. Minutes later, he stormed home, screaming, cursing me viciously, close to violence. I stood firm, exhausted by his lies, demanding honesty about visiting her. He hurled insults, ignored me after. I'm sure neighbors heard. Monday, I went to file for divorce but hit a snag. As a 1099 contractor, he hasn't worked in nearly 2 years, though bills are paid. I'm not on his accounts, never have been, always requesting money. He stopped me from handling taxes 3 years ago, claiming they were too complex. Filing now risks minimal alimony, as he could appeal for less. My lawyer, impressed with my evidence, advised waiting 3 months, as he's resumed work with submitted bids. I'm gathering proof and staying composed until September. Relevant comments. Comment 1. This is painful, but you'll thrive without this toxicity. I'm no expert, but get another lawyer's opinion. 1099s prove income. They could subpoena his taxes, even unfiled ones. Reply, he owns a business, receiving 1099s from his subcontractor. I haven't seen taxes in 3 years. We file separately. His office is chaotic, but I'll keep looking for documents. OOP on alimony. My kids are grown. My youngest, 20, has special needs, functioning like a 12-year-old. Initially, I'd have done anything to save the marriage. Now I want better. OOP on documents. Since April, I've stored key documents safely. OOP on waiting. I've endured this long. Leaving now, I couldn't afford a safe home for my son and me. After decades of caregiving, managing his business and our home, I deserve fair alimony, potentially $4,500 versus $500 monthly, per my lawyer.